Alright guys, welcome back to Red Leg GI's channel here. I am your host, Red Leg GI, of course. And what you see before you is some models I've completed previously. You're going to have actually in the order I've completed them in the Tiger one first, the Abrams second, and the Char B1 was most recent, besides the Panzer II, which was in my last video, which you guys just saw. If you're still watching, you just saw that. So I'll explain each one what I did, and hope you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. So, first one I did when I got back to modeling was the Tiger. I'd not done a model in a long time, and I definitely know the skills I have with this here. I know it's kind of dark, and I apologize for that, but hopefully you can see some of the details on here. Yeah, I put a lot of effort and work in this. I was like, you know what, I'm really enjoying this. And so I got back into it. And, you know, I think I've done a decent job. I'm not saying it's good. I think it's a decent job on this tank. I wish I were better at it, but this is definitely the first return tank I've done. And it was a learning process. I mean, there's some stuff I messed up on it. The tracks on it, it's an Italeri model, and so the tracks are all plastic. And these are real pain in the ass to put together. But I got it done pretty easily. There are definitely some mistakes on my part. Like, for example, back here, this little piece should be at a different angle, but the instructions weren't very clear, so it's kind of a pain in the ass for me to do. So I kind of slapped it on there. Don't tell anyone, though. I broke off you can see this down here, a piece of the, like the crank to start the engine. That's missing a piece. But again, it turned out okay, so I wasn't really too worried about it. Some of the tracks in this thing is just real pain in the butt. And when I found out other companies were doing, when they're doing rubber tracks, I was like, that's a good idea. So, it's my first real attempt to weather a tank. You can see back here, I try to get the exhaust up here, make it look nasty, whatever. My models kind of fall somewhere where they've been used a little bit in the field, but maybe just recently painted, but not too heavily used. Probably because I'm not overly familiar with how they would really be dirty in the field, or like how to make them look like it's really used yet. There's a lot of techniques about like chipping paint and stuff like that. I'm not there yet. We got some basic stuff like having dirt in the engine, exhaust on the intakes and stuff like that. But this was the first one. The second one I did was back here was the Abrams, and this kit is a Tamiya kit, and you guys see this or not? There we go. Sorry. Again, no, I'm still learning the camera angles. And this kit was great. It was pretty intense. It's a little different than that kit over there. I think I did a pretty decent job on it. The weathering, I'd say, looks not the best, but there's all kinds of different shades, like colors doesn't rack. When you've been there, you know this. There's different colors, different kinds, whatever. What really got me was the decals that were really popping out in the tank. Until I took a, kind of like I did with the Panzer II, if y'all remember that. Until I took a airbrush and painted like a light coat of like a flesh color sand or flesh tone, and covered the entire model, and it gave it a real nice, real nice, like used look, like dusty, dirty kind of used look. One thing I was kind of surprised about on this kit was the little details on the stickers, or on the like ammo cans. Hopefully you guys can see the details on those there. Let's see. Yeah, there they are. And so I was really kind of thinking I was going to be frustrated with them, or maybe not put them on, but in the end when I come out, I was able to put them there fairly easily, so I was kind of surprised at that. I messed up on this kit too, just to be fair and honest. A few things are like the glass pieces in the Commander's cupola. I think there's some that are messed up. Definitely the driver's one's a little bit. Let's see here if you can see it or not. I'll take this. I'll take it off. Hold on a second. Like Commander, I can see that or not, but the glass is kind of off there, which stuff like that bothers me. Like I see it, but maybe a casual observer wouldn't see it. But there's the weathering on the top of the vehicle, so y'all can see that. So I think I did a good job, but who knows? I guess time will tell. The turret actually added the radio antennas on there, which I didn't have a small enough pin vise, so I had to clip off the actual little pieces of the rail mounts and actually just drill a hole into it and then mount the wires as the antennas. So if you're maybe a high skilled modeler, you'd be like, oh, what an idiot, what are you doing? But for me, it passes and it works. So the one thing I really kind of don't like that I did was on the machine gun, the FD Cal. It shouldn't be dusty. It should be black, because if it's dusty like that, someone's getting in trouble. Another thing I kind of did that I kind of regret is over here on this side, these doors are closed. If the tank were active and looking for targets, these would be open. But I was like, man, I'm going to save some time, not worry about it. And so I was thinking about doing a diorama with this, but if I did, it's going to be something where the tank is stopped and refueling or whatever, because it should be, should be open. So that's the thing. But this one was a learning experience. It's kind of interesting. Just to do, like, say, a modern tank versus like a, World War II classic Panzer. So that's number 2. The third one is a French Panzer B1, B1, a French B1 tank that's in German service. This tank was a bit more interesting. I kind of took my time. I did a wash on it. I looked up a lot more details. I mean, the Emerald did a lot of research too, but this one I looked up quite a bit. One of the proudest things to say is probably the way the chains look. They're kind of rusty looking, but they also have like some shiny bits, like a real piece of chain wood if it was rubbing. It looks like a really simple design tank, and it probably is, but in reality, putting together was a lot harder than these two. And the reasoning was, on the tracks down here, these little individual wheels have to line up perfectly, and there's a piece that glues on there, and it just both sides is a real pain in the ass. But this is supposed to be designed that was on one of the French islands or something like that, or the British islands that were captured and the Germans used. I guess in 1944. I think it looks good. I don't think there's not nearly as many mistakes on this tank, I think, that I can see. Something that always worries me though is like right here on I think it's a 75 gun, right underneath the barrel there. Hopefully you can see that little lack of paint. That bothers me a little bit, but I could call it use. Who knows? I just I like to get as good as I can. I've got the commander's hatch, or a little let's see here, the commander's cupola viewport open. It can be modeled closed, but I like to have them be able to see, if that makes sense. Again, not a lot of weather on the tracks. I think it's got a good color to it. I think it's got like maybe it's been through mud and it's dried out and it's still rolling along, maybe through grass, who knows, but I think it looks pretty good. I don't really have any complaints about this model kit. I thought it was pretty good. So, and unfortunately I didn't do videos for this, but oh well, I guess it's live and learn. So the turret fully turns on this one too. That's one there. The door is kind of a pain in the butt, just for the fact that the you can see right here on it, hopefully you can see right here, that the turret line doesn't really, or the door line doesn't really show up very well, so I had to try to dig it out, but I didn't do a very good job of it. So it's there, it's not very good. But yeah, so this is my other one. I'm kind of probably most proud of this one so far. The Panzer II is kind of a quick build, and I've got some more models to do. I got actually 4 right now. I got a T-62, a M3 Bradley, what else do I have? A M4 Sherman, and there's something else I've got too. But it's kind of how it happens. When I buy stuff I go like that, I buy 3 or 4 and slowly work on them after that. So hopefully you guys like what I've done. Hopefully you guys like what I'm doing, and hopefully I can get you guys some more videos over time here. And hopefully you maybe learn something, or maybe you can teach me something. Because if you don't learn something, you're wasting your time, basically. So thanks for watching, and please feel free to shoot me a message or comment. I'll try to get back to you.